In case you have fallen by the wayside of life, dreams and visions shattered.
Welcome to Lost But Not Forgotten Outreach. This is the day that the Lord has made, and certainly we have a lot to rejoice about. I really believe in times like these, oftentimes it appears that all of our young people are going out the world backwards, and some of our young people just don't care. But I believe that there are some young people today that do care, that are doing positive things with their life, and that are focused and with a good attitude. So I've asked Daryl Lawrence III if he will come today and be able to share his story with me, to be able to bless all of us and be able to encourage somebody else that hopefully that'll be listening to see that if he can do it, so can you. Welcome, Daryl.
Thank you.
Welcome to Lost But Not Forgotten Outreach.
Blessed to be here, honestly.
Yes, I'm excited. You know, when I saw you, there was just something about you, just the way that you carry yourself.
Honestly, it was just the way I was raised. Mom and Dad, they always taught me to always do everything the right way. And if you can't, just make sure you stay on the right path. Just always do the right thing.
So you would say you attribute a lot of it to the help of the raising of your parents?
Well, my mother, father, and my older siblings too. They always was hard on me about doing the right thing, so I just made sure I did it so I could be successful, and honestly, I'm on the road to it.
Well, you're blessed because there's a lot of siblings that don't get along for 2 minutes. So you're really blessed to have siblings that supported you as well and wanted you to learn what you were supposed to learn at an early age, because it doesn't happen that often. You know, and a lot of older siblings are off on their own, and they just don't have time.
Yes, I honestly have a few friends. Excuse me, I have a few friends who's, they're really disconnected from their siblings, and it's sad, honestly, because you would think older brother, older sister would love to connect with their younger brother, younger sister, but I mean, some families just have different problems that they go through. But I think they'll get better. Everything gets better with time, honestly, and believing in the Lord, everything gets better.
All right, I like that, because I really believe that we could do nothing without God but fail. So I love that, and I knew it was something about you. So my thing is, when I've asked you what you were doing, and you were saying, oh, I got to get back to school. So where do you go to school?
I go to Penn State University, Greater Allegheny, McKeesport campus.
Okay, so what year are you in? Or
I'm going into my sophomore year currently.
Okay, and your subject?
I'm studying athletic training. I'm studying to be an athletic trainer.
Wow. So any particular area?
Well, when you study to be an athletic trainer, there's really no particular area. It's really like when I get my degree, like I could get called for a basketball team, football team, tennis player. It's really dealing with just helping athletes heal if they get hurt and keeping them fresh and healthy.
Wow, that's much needed.
Yes.
Yeah, that's much needed. That's good. That's good. And what I like about that, because oftentimes a lot of young people take things and they don't know if that's even going to be a moneymaker later. So that's awesome that you chose. What made you just?
Well, I love sports, to be honest. So I really chose something that would have something to do with sports. But I also plan on trying out for the Penn State football team when I go to not the main campus, the University Park campus next year.
All right. We like that. So tell me something. I know a lot of times I hear a lot of young people get disturbed about going and discouraged from going to college because they talk about student loans. Is that an issue for you?
Honestly, it's more or less is scary to think about, because when you think about student loans, you think about coming out of school, not getting a job right away, struggling to pay them back, not being able to work in your field right away. But it may be like that, but sometimes you can honestly get right into your field. It just depends on how hard you work to get to where you want to get. So honestly, it is scary, and it is something that, you know, you don't want to think about being in debt, not being able to do a lot of things, being uncomfortable when you get out of school. But as long as you work hard and do what you have to do, you'll be okay.
Yeah, and you know what the thing about it is, when I think about that, when you were saying as long as you work hard, the thing about it is you know, the student loans, I try to tell people don't let that scare you, because if you're focused, you know, and doing what you're supposed to do, you'll be okay. But I think that's a scare tactic for some people.
Yes, it really is. Like when you first, like when you're in high school senior year, they throw all these stuff at you. Like when I went to my orientation, they threw a lot of numbers at me, and it didn't discourage me, but it did, you know, make me think like I might have to pay a lot of money when I get out of school. But when you've been through like your first year, you learn a lot about college, and you learn that there's more than just loans. There's grants, there's scholarships, and there's a lot of ways to get money that you don't have to pay back. But sometimes loans are needed. So don't let loans discourage you, because it'll help you in the long run, and you'll see.
Good. That's what I really wanted to hear. So tell me some about any obstacles that you run into.
Well, honestly, going from high school to college is a big difference. You get all the responsibility. The work gets harder. Temptation gets harder.
Oh.
Life just gets harder, but funner at the same time. They say college is the best 4 years of your life, or 5, however long you go. And I can already say from experience, it is. It really is. But at the same time, you also have to stay grounded. You also have to make sure that your studies is out the way. If you want to go to that party, make sure that that test or that homework that you did that's due is done before you go to that party. And sometimes, and even I can say this for myself, I did this. When you wake up in the morning, you don't feel like going to school. Like in high school, when you would do that, your mom or dad would make you get up, you gotta go. In college, that's not there. You're gonna have to make that choice all on your own. And I myself have made the choice to not go to class. I haven't did a lot, but I have picked some days where I wanted to just lay in bed or not go to that class, but go to my later class. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's something bad to do, because maybe you do need a break, but don't do it more than twice, honestly. Everyone needs a break, because we're only human. And college is a lot.
Mm-hmm. And when you say parties, I get a little concerned because I notice a lot of times they're showing that people are ODing at these campuses. So would you say you got to be careful on how you know what party to go to and what party not to go to?
Well, it really isn't like what party and what party not to go to, because all parties are the same. Kids are going to be drinking, smoking, popping pills. And that's where the ODing comes in, popping all these different pills, putting all these different drugs in your body, and it's not mixing. It mixes with each other, then it's not mixing with your immune system, and it just messes everything up. Like mollies, weed, you know, and then people will take stuff from other people that they don't even know. They didn't see them put that together. Somebody could be putting anything inside your substance. But first, to all the kids out there, don't do drugs. It's not going to help. It's not worth it. It just stay strong, stay straight. It's never going to do nothing for you, honestly. But it is okay to party, but party sober, in my opinion. Party sober, so you know what you're doing, you know when to leave, you know when to do something, you know when not to do something. Honestly, it's a better fun to party sober.
Well, where would you think more of the peer pressure comes from in college? Would you say would be female, or would you say it would be from a best buddy? Because I know different ones talk about who was their biggest influence that influenced them into doing the negative.
Well, in my experience, peer pressure really stays in high school. When you get to college, you become not grown, but you become a young adult. So peer pressure really doesn't really happen. It's either you're going to do something if you want to do it, or you're not. But peer pressure is really in high school. But if it does happen, it may come from a friend or a female that you may like. So that's where the most peer pressure comes from.
So you're saying come college, you should be an adult. You should be grown up enough by then to not let the peer pressure affect you. because the peer pressure is always going to be there even as I'm older. We all deal with peer pressure. You're saying, but come college, you ought to be able to handle that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I'm glad you said that, but when I think about you growing up and even in a different African American community, would you see how that affects you concerning your, working toward going college? Was there any time because of your atmosphere that discouraged you or tried to discourage you?
Honestly, I know that there have been times, but I've honestly just deleted that part because it happened when I was younger. But I honestly just let all that go, and I really don't think about it. But there have been times where I have been affected by peer pressure, but I also said no. But most of the time growing up, my friends, they asked me, but they never really like, oh, do it. They asked me, and if I said no, they'd be like, all right.
Probably because you seem like a person that means what you say and says what you mean. That's probably why they left you alone, And I really thank God for you because you let them know that I mean that. And they probably felt that in you. I think that's what we have to do is be sure. And let our yes be yes and our no be no and not stutter. And they think that they can be able to come back again. Oh, come on, man. So in saying that, when you think about everything going on with the tragedies and the murder and everything going on, how do you feel about that?
Well, I recently had my own experience with the cop tragedies and stuff. I had came home from college. I had been home I haven't been home maybe a month. And I took this girl I know to prom, and we were coming from my house because I had changed, and we were going to her house so she could change because we were going out to eat. And a cop pulls us over and tells us to get out the car. And remind you, I'm with my father. I currently don't have my license. Not a big deal, but I'm with my father, and he's driving. So he gets out the car, and as he gets out the car, he turns around. He tells the cop, "Why are you pointing that gun at me?" And instantly, all the stuff that's going on right now, it just played in my head, and I know what type of father I have. He has a short temper. So I just told him, "Dad, just listen to what he got to say, and we'll get out of here quicker. We can go home without a tragedy and all that." And I was just thinking about the worst as that was going on. So I just told him, just chill out, listen to what he got to say so we get out of here. So my dad, he listens. Cop handcuffs him. Then he tells me to get out the car. He tells me back up. He handcuffs me. He tells the girl get out the car. He handcuffs the girl, and she still has her prom dress on. They asked us where we're coming from. Obviously, we're coming from a prom if she has a prom dress on. That was one of the dumbest questions I ever heard. But the thing was that they had said that the car we was in was reported stolen. That car was not stolen. That was a brand new car that my dad had just bought. It was in his name, and they didn't even follow protocol. I don't know protocol, but I know the way they did it, it was not the right way. So that was my experience, and it was I wouldn't say it was eye opening, but it was just an experience that I'll never forget.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, it's unfortunate that a lot of times that they, don't get called on the carpet for it. A lot of times they get away with it. But I really believe that the Bible says that you reap what you sow, and what you do to people, you get back. So I really believe that. But I'm glad that you were able to maintain. Your dad was able to maintain, and your lady friend was able to maintain. And I think that, don't you think that attitude has to do with everything?
It plays a part. Yes, it plays a part. But it's attitude and reaction.
Right.
Just stopping and thinking.
Yes. Now with the police, you could, if you would have reacted in a different way, it really could have turned out to something different.
Yes.
So so that's the blessing. And I think about even young people that are listening, just hold your peace. Just hold your peace. Just hold your peace. Because the bottom line is that attitude will get you in trouble. Sometimes you just got to hold your peace. So I see that about you. You seem like you really have that spirit about you, that it would take a lot to get you to go in a negative direction. So I could tell that about you. Yeah, so, but I bless the Lord. Something else I wanted to ask you, when I think about your academics and everything going on in school, tell me about your grades. How you doing?
Well, it ain't really something to brag about right now. But going into your first year is one of the biggest adjustments you'll ever have to make. It's like going from basketball to football. It's you got two different sports, two different atmospheres. It's way different. So it's something hard to adjust to.
Yes.
But I will say that this year will be better.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about it is you acknowledge that, because I went to college myself. And yes, it is. It's a huge adjustment. It's a whole new lifestyle and mindset. Everything is different. So you're right. In the first year, the good thing about it is you didn't make no excuses up. You knew, hey, I'm adjusting. I'm all right. I'm good with it because I'm adjusting. But I realize the best is yet to come. Mm-hmm. Amen. As I bless the Lord for you, because a lot of people make up excuses when things aren't where they want them to be. And you did not do that.
Well, I actually have a teacher at my current school, and he told me this quote. He said, "Excuses are for the weak and incompetent."
Can you say that again?
Excuses are for the weak and incompetent. And
Wow.
I agree 100% with him. I don't believe in making excuses. You own up to what you do, and you're responsible for what you did. So just take it on the chin and just keep it moving.
I like that. Because I believe that's why you're doing well, because you're responsible and you take accountability. But like you said it's the results of your family, And you have friends that don't have any family support?
None that I could really think of. Most of my friends all of my friends actually have support from the family. So I really never go through that with them.
Good, because, that's good, because a lot of them, they don't, and they're, kind of like out there on their own. So, that's a good thing. So would you say you have a lot of friends?
I wouldn't say a lot.
Sincere, show enough friends.
I have a nice circle.
Okay.
I have a nice circle. Because nowadays, growing up, you just experience a lot. Like, some people ain't your friend. They'll do anything to you. They'll do stuff behind your back. So you just got to really watch people, honestly.
Watch. I like that. And how about watch as well as pray?
That too.
Watch as well as pray. So I wanted to ask you, when I think about striving, what are some of these other things that you can advise any young person that would help them to be able to strive, even though they might be even in middle school right now?
Well, if you love something, don't let nobody discourage you from it. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, you're weird for doing that, you're weird for doing this. If you love it, keep at it. If it makes you happy, keep at it. Do what you do for you. Don't do for anyone else, because you won't get nowhere in life. Honestly, so I would just say, do what you love, do it well, stay strong, and you'll get to where you want to get.
Wow. So you really believe that even in the midst of a community where different ones are just going out the world backwards and you think you could still survive?
I've survived this far, so I believe I can still go. I don't think there's nothing that can stop me from doing what I want to do. There really isn't. I done faced a lot of stuff. I faced different people, faced the devil, honestly. So there's nothing that can stop me.
Wow. And I bless the Lord for you saying that. That's what I want you to say to the young people too. Don't let your atmosphere and the naysayers and what's going on around you stop you.
Well, and one of the biggest things that is stopping people now is social media.
Let's talk about that. What about this Facebook? Help them out.
Social media it's not all bad.
Right.
Like, some people use it, they promote their business, they promote their...
I promote God.
You can promote God. You just promote things, but like teams and stuff. they're using it in just 100% different way, 100% bad way. And it's okay to go on there sometimes, but they get consumed by it. Like, it's just not something I believe you should go on 100% of your time, 24 hours a day. It really, because I did this study in school, and it said people, I forget the percentage of people, but I know it was a large percent of people, including me. They say some people would be just sitting there and they'll hear a ring and they'll think it's their phone and they'll pick their phone up, but it never rang. And after I did that study, a couple hours later, it happened to me. So that day I really decided like I wouldn't be on social media as much, and I actually deleted Facebook off my phone. And it was really eye-opening, honestly, and it really helps. It's not that social media is bad, it's just bad when you're on it for the wrong reasons and you're on it just too much. And it just consumes people.
Yeah, and before you know it, you're caught up. You know, and really the bottom line is it becomes an addiction. You know, and so I just really am just glad that you agreed to come on today. And I don't know if there's anything else that you would think about to say to the younger people concerning, because a lot of them, I don't have to go to college. I can get a job. And go to college for what? But really the way I see it today, you have to have a degree to get a decent job.
Well, they say you do, but sometimes some jobs, you don't have to go to college. Like, you honestly don't have to go to college to be successful. The most success comes from people who goes to college, though. The best jobs come from people who go to college, because that's where you get the hands-on work. But you don't have to go to college to be successful, honestly.
Well, a lot of these jobs today don't want a high school diploma. You know, and it was a time where a high school diploma was, you know, what you were in, but not now. So, but my thing is that if you can go to school, why not to better yourself?
Well,
you know, to do better and to be better. And not only that, there's some things we don't know everything.
Not at all.
Like in the field that you're in, you're going to get it. So wouldn't you say to a younger person, if there's something you really want to do, go get it. Now there's some fields that don't require, but there's some, like yours, that do.
Yes, ma'am.
So wouldn't you want to do the best that you can?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, so I mean, if they want to work in a gas station, that's fine because that's making money. But I think a career requires college, don't you? You know, so I just thank God for you, because all of our young people, you know, are not doing negative things. It's a whole lot of young people that are doing positive things. And I just need people to be able to see that. You know, the bottom line is to me, there's a lot more that are doing positive things, and a lot of people would disagree. It's because they don't see it. You know, but I know so many young people that are, you know, so every chance I get, I want to let everybody know there's another young man that it might not have been easy, and it may not be easy now, but you're focused. And nothing's easy.
Nothing.
You know, and I tell them, you know, anything you want, you got to work for it. The mentality today, would you say people have an entitlement? You know, that's mine. You know, what's yours is supposed to be mine. I'm like, where did that come from?
I think it comes from a generation, honestly. And there's a quote I live by, Philippians 4:13.
All right, come on.
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that it speaks for itself, honestly. As long as you got God on your side, you can do anything. So that's what I truly believe. All right.
And the thing about it is that I like how you said I can in the scripture, because so many of them say I can't. You know, that I can't, I want to, but I can't. You know, and I just really just prayed that somebody heard something that you said, you know, and even the quotes, you know, and these particularly, you know, you even use in the Bible that, and when you talked about your siblings being a big part, that's huge. So even bigger sisters and brothers today, take time out and help your brothers and sisters. Don't knock them down. Try to help them and see, can you take a moment out to help your brother and sister? And then what do you have to say to that, to big brothers and sisters that don't have time and want to kick them when they're down and just judge them and talk about them and don't want to take a moment out for their brother or their sister?
Well, I'm not a big brother or sister, but I can say that just help them out. When they do something wrong, don't just yell at them. Try to help them, try to understand what they're going through, because you was once in that position. So don't just put them down yet. Try to help them.
Yeah. And I thank you for that, because the bottom line is that even if you try, that goes a long way. And like you remember all the help that you had. You remember that. That's something that they'll remember, the help that they didn't get. Mm-hmm. And that leaves a very, that's poisonous right there. And that leaves a negative effect when they're listening to somebody who gets all this help, and then they can remember what they didn't get. So I know, what do you say about the young man that has to go on his own and reach out for mentors outside the family?
Well, just don't let the fact that family or friends ain't helping you, because it's just part of your road, your struggle, your way to get to where you want to get. Everybody has a different path. That's your path. So just stay strong through it, live it, and just when you get to where you want to be, tell other people about it, inspire them. That way you can help them get to where they want to be.
So would you be a mentor for somebody, some young men?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so we keep that in mind, because oftentimes we do have young men that do need mentor that don't have family members. Okay, that would be great. And listen, I just appreciate you coming on. I really do, and I would like to definitely have you back. And I really believe that the best is yet to come for you.
I do too.
I really believe that you're confident and you're focused and you're determined to not let nothing stand in your way. And I believe that you're a young man that won't let nothing separate you from the love of God.
Nothing strong enough to do that.
Yes, amen, because too many people let people come in and sway them. But I'm telling you, without God, we can do nothing but fail, So I'm thankful to your parents, your family. You are an example for your whole family and your community. And they can see, look, if he can do it, I can too. Isn't that awesome?
That's the message. That's one of the many messages I want to send to people. Everybody can do, and when I say everybody, I mean every person on this earth. You can do what you want to do. Just don't give up. Never give up. Always stay strong in what you want to do.
Amen. Thank you. Again, this is Lost But Not Forgotten Outreach. Thank you, as I've been interviewing and meeting this young man, Daryl Lawrence III. Thank you again, and we'll meet you again next time.
In case you have fallen by the wayside of life, dreams and fears shattered, you